Good day, everyone. Before I am going to continue or to start my discussion, allow me first to introduce myself. Hi, I am Famela Sora, your reporter. This day, we are going to discuss exercise. Throughout this lesson, we have objectives that we need to meet or to reach or to achieve. First, define warm-up and cool-down exercises. Second, identify the types of strength and endurance exercises. Define isotonic, isometric, isokinetic, and understand the principles of exercises. So these are our objectives. First, what is an exercise? I know that you already know or you already have any idea what is exercises. So exercise is a body activity that enhances or maintains physical fitness and overall health and wellness. Through in our daily activities, in our daily encounters and transactions, of course, if we are aiming to have a healthy lifestyle or a physically fit or body, we need to undergo exercises. Next is exercise program. So when we say exercise program, it is a planned activity detailing a range of physical exercises and the amount of time each exercises should be performed where it is typically designed to an individual needs. So this exercise program is just like a daily note or routine that you need to do before the day ends. So this exercise program encompasses all the exercises that a certain individual needs to do based on his or her needs. So this is a detailing a range of physical exercises and the amount of time each exercises. So kumbaga program talaga siya. So that is exercise program. Definition of terms. Though these are the terms or definition of terms. At the end of the lesson or throughout the process of our discussion, we are going to encounter or we will be encountering some foreign words or strange words that are not familiar to us. And now let's define it. So these are the words. First, the warm-up. So what is warm-up? Warm-up or warming up is the set of exercises sorted and graded all muscles and joints whose purpose is to prepare the body for physical sports to perform properly and avoid injury. So if you are an athlete, of course, you know this kind of exercise, warm-up exercise, because before you are going to undergo or to engage yourself into a vigorous activity, you need to do warm-up exercise. So what is the purpose or what is the importance of warm-up exercises? This is to prepare the body for physical sports to perform properly and avoid injury. So that's how important warm-up is. Next, the cool-down exercise. The cooling down is an important transition done after intense activity to allow the body to gradually return to resting or near-resting state. So if there is a warm-up exercises, of course, there is a cool-down exercises. So before you are going to really take a rest after engaging into a vigorous activity or engaging into a physical activities, you need to cool down for your body to gradually return to resting or near resting state. Okay, that is the cooling down, an important transition done after intense activity. So that's cooling down. Next, isotonic exercise. When we say isotonic exercise, this is a movement that requires muscles to resist weight over a range of motion, causing a change to the length of the muscle. So this exercises more focus on the muscles or the movement of the muscles, the capability of the muscles of an individual to perform. That is isotonic exercises. Next, isometric exercise. This is a tightening or contractions of specific muscles or group of muscles. So this isometric exercises only focuses to a specific muscle or group of muscle. It could be a muscle at your hands, it could be a muscle at your lower part of your body. So that is the isometric exercise. Next, we have isokinetic exercise. Isokinetic exercise is a type of exercise training that uses a special machine. The exercise machine creates different levels of resistance. So this isokinetic exercises has a special machine, and this machine creates different levels of resistance. So you will undergo different level of exercises, different level of resistance. So further, you will understand more regarding with this specific exercises, the isokinetic, from the following reporters. Next. Okay, that's all for our lesson. And of course, those definition of terms, we'll be encountering it throughout the discussion or throughout the end of the discussion, throughout the process of this discussion. I hope you have something, you learned something from my report. And of course, this is just the beginning of our journey or of our discussion. Of course, papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part. So, better prepare yourself. So, this is Famela Don Sora. Thank you for listening. God bless.
Good day everyone, this is Regine H. GADJI taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Mathematics 1A. So, for today's video, we are going to tackle about strength and endurance exercises. So, we all know that exercise is very much important in our body to be executed because by this, we will be able to become physically fit and also have a good life. Strength and endurance exercises. Strength and endurance training can help to reduce muscle and bone loss, warding off age-related diseases that affect the bones such as osteoporosis and arthritis. This training can be as effective as taking medication. Endurance training is great to your heart health. So, strength training. Strength training or resistance training involves the performance of physical exercises that are designed to improve strength and endurance. So, meaning, strength training is any exercise that involves working against resistance to develop the strength and endurance or muscle groups. Resistance may come from your body or from equipment such as weight machines, the weights or barbells, a body bar, resistance bands, stability ball, or water. So here we have 4 different types of strength training, namely strength training for muscle power, strength training for muscle strength, third is strength training for muscle hypertrophy, and lastly is the strength training for muscular endurance. So first we're going to tackle what is strength training for muscle power. So strength training for muscle power is this technique aims to improve the muscle's explosive power. This training increases your ability to perform a powerful movement minimal time. So, this type of training is often used to help people improve their athletic performance. This sort of training will engage your fast twitch muscle fibers, which generate more power and strength than slow twitch muscle fibers, but will, however, fatigue much faster and require more time for recovery. So, example for strength training for muscle power are jumping or launching into a fast sprint, Olympic leaps, sprinting, jumping, ice hockey, football, netball, and boxing. And for the second type of strength training is strength training for muscle strength. So this type of training is designed to achieve maximum strength and size, the ability to lift or push heavy weights. So power lifter train for muscle strength and bodybuilders train for muscle size. So the bigger the muscle fibers, the more force they will be able to exert. So in here, you are giving the amount of force you can put out or the amount of weight you can lift. Building muscles can also contribute to better balance and may reduce risk of falls. This can help you maintain independence as you age. So example for strength training for muscle strength are heavy gardening such as digging and shoveling, climbing stairs, cycling, push-ups, and sit-ups. So this technique is especially useful for weight loss, helping to achieve a toned look and increasing the amount of lean muscle in the body. It can also help counteract the age-related muscle loss that can lead to frailty. So in here, muscle hypertrophy refers to an increase in muscle mass. This usually manifests as an increase in muscle size and strength. Typically, muscle hypertrophy occurs as a result of strength training, which is why it is normally associated with weightlifting. So example for muscular hypertrophy in response to exercise, no? So hypertrophy training focuses mostly on developing your muscles. You'll focus on increasing the size of your muscle fibers, developing large muscles in areas that you work out the most. This might be places like your thighs, calves, biceps, or back. So for the last type is the strength training for muscular endurance. So in here, your body recruits muscles fibers based on the force demands placed on it. So for muscular endurance sports, your strength training will focus on lower phase demands that build up your slow twitch fibers. So muscular endurance is the ability of a muscle or group of muscles to perform repetitive contractions against a force for an extended period of time. In here, your muscles is being used repeatedly without fatiguing. Fatiguing, no? So, best example for strength training for muscular endurance are push-ups, lunge, sit-ups, pull-ups, plank, squats, and rocking. So now we will move on to endurance exercises. So, endurance exercise is also called aerobic exercise. Endurance exercise includes activities that increase your breathing and heart rate, such as walking, jogging, swimming, biking, and jumping rope. So, endurance activity keeps your heart, lungs, and circulatory system healthy and improves your overall fitness. So, meaning, endurance exercise means a general ability to do any kind of physical activity that increases your heart rate above 50% of your maximum. No? It is the ability of an organism to exert itself and remain active for a long period of time, as well as its ability to resist, withstand, recover from, and have immunity to trauma, wounds, or fatigue. It is usually used in aerobic or anaerobic exercises. So here we have also four types of endurance, namely aerobic endurance, anaerobic endurance, speed endurance, and strength. Now for the first type of endurance exercise is the aerobic endurance. So during aerobic with oxygen, the body works at a level that the body's intake can meet the demands for oxygen and fuel. The only waste product formed are carbon dioxide and water removed by sweating and breathing. Also, aerobic endurance is your ability to exercise at moderate intensity for extended periods of time. Your body relies on your cardiorespiratory system to work efficiently during sustained activity to supply nutrients and oxygen to working muscles. No? So examples for aerobic endurance are long distance running, swimming, and triathlons. So we have also subdivided um, types of aerobic endurance, which is the short, medium, and long aerobic. So for short aerobic, 2 minutes to 8 minutes, lactic aerobic, and medium is 8 minutes to 30 minutes, and last is the long aerobic, 30 minutes plus aerobic. So now we will move on to anaerobic endurance, which is the second type of endurance exercise. So during anaerobic with an oxygen work involving maximum effort, the body works so hard that the demands for oxygen and fuel exceed the supply rate, and the muscles have to rely on the stored reserves of fuel. So Anaerobic endurance refers to the ability to sustain intense, short-duration activities such as weightlifting or sprinting. So anaerobic means without oxygen. So examples of this are jumping, sprinting, or heavyweight lifting. So we also have subdivided types of anaerobic, which are short anaerobic, medium anaerobic, and last is the long anaerobic. So in short anaerobic, less than 25 seconds, mainly lactic. For medium anaerobic is 25 seconds to 60 seconds, mainly lactic. Then last is the long anaerobic, which is 60 seconds to 120 seconds, lactic plus aerobic. So that is all for anaerobic endurance. So speed endurance is used to develop the coordination of muscle contraction. Repetition methods are used with a high number of sets, a low number of repetitions per set, and intensity greater than 85% with distances covered from 60% to 120% of the racing distance. So in speed endurance, it is the quality of being able to maintain sprinting velocities at or near your maximal velocity. Another way to look at speed endurance is the ability to minimize deceleration after achieving maximal velocity, also known as top speed. No? So example for speed endurance are long speed endurance, throws, reactive crossovers, and shuffles. So for the last type of endurance exercise is the strength endurance. So, strength endurance develops the athlete's capacity to maintain their muscles' contractile force. All athletes need to build a basic level of strength endurance. So, when we say strength endurance, it is the specific form of strength displayed in activities which require a relatively long duration of muscle tension with minimal decrease in efficiency. So, for example for strength endurance are circuit training, weight training, hill running, and harness running. So, for today's video, we have tackled the strength and endurance training exercises. So for strength training, we have four types, namely strength training for muscle power, strength training for muscle strength training for muscle hypertrophy, and last is the strength training for muscular endurance. And also we talked about endurance training, which also has four types, namely aerobic endurance, anaerobic endurance, speed endurance, and last is the strength endurance. So that is all for my topic. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you learn a lot. And keep in mind that to enjoy the glow of good health, you must exercise. So that is all for my report. Thank you and God bless.
Good day, everyone. So today we will talk about the principles of exercise training. But before anything else, let me introduce myself first. I am AIZA TAMPOL, and without further ado, let's start the discussion. Principles of exercise training. So here are the learning objectives. So at the end of this discussion, you will be able to understand what the principles of training are and explain why the principles of training are used. So the importance of training and exercise. Training is the process of enhancing the skills, and through exercise, we can improve and develop our strength that keep us strong and active, and also to avoid any common injuries. It means that we need to train ourselves in order to develop or enhance our skills. It is also important to know the different principles of training because it is the foundation of how you design a program in which it aims to achieve a specific goals.
Understanding training principles also allows you to monitor exercise load with your desired results. So here are the 7 principles of exercise training. First is the principles of individuality. So principle of individuality states that no two persons are the same and their rate of adaptation to the same workload are different. Everyone is different and responds differently to training. There are some people who can be able to handle higher volumes of training, and others may respond better to higher intensities. So this is based on a combination of factors like the age, the genetic capacity, promotions of muscle fiber types, the mental stage, and the other factors. Next principle, so the principle of specificity. So it states that the body will adapt specifically to the workload. It means that you do activities that are specific to your activity. For instance, if you want to increase the strength of your biceps, use weights or resistance and do some bicep curls. The next is the principle of progression. It states that the body should experience a gradual increase in workload. So the amount and principles of your exercise should be increased gradually. And in order to attain the desired fitness goal, one must start from the basic to reach the advanced. So the next is the principle of overload. This will be tackled by my partner, Miss SHEKAINAH DANGGOD. That would be all. Thank you.
So, good afternoon again, everyone. So, today I am going to continue the discussion about the principles of exercises training. So, I know that my partner already discussed the first 3 principles, and now I am going to discuss to you the last 4 principles. So, now we are here at the principle of overload. So, principle of overload states that the body must work harder than what is used to in order for it to adapt. So it means that in order to progress and improve our fitness, we have to put our bodies under additional stress. So applying this training principle will cause long-term adaptations, enabling our bodies to work more efficiently to cope with higher level of performance. So overloading can be achieved by following the acronym FITT or FIT. So FITT stands for F for frequency, I for intensity, T for time, and the other T is for type. So frequency, let us go first to the frequency. Frequency, it increases the number of times you train per week. So when we say intensity, it increases the difficulty of the exercise that you do. So for example, running at 12 km per hour instead of 10 km per hour. So that is the example of intensity. So now let us proceed to the time. Time, it increases the length of time that you are training for each session. So for example, cycling for 45 minutes instead of 30 minutes. So T for type. It increases the difficulty of training you are doing. So the example of this one is the progress from walking to running. So an example of a program that uses the overload principle would be one that prescribes squatting, a prescribed weight for 5 sets for 1 week. So moving to squatting, a slightly heavier load for 5 sets the next week, and progressively increasing the load each subsequent week. So that is the example of the principle of overload. So let us proceed now to the next principle, which is the principle of recovery. So, principle of recovery, the body cannot repair itself without rest and time to recover. So it means that it is necessary to ensure that your body does not suffer from exhaustion or overuse injuries. Rest and recovery are required to allow the body to adapt the exercise. Optimal adaptation requires recovery time. So it is only during the recovery phase that the body is able to change and adapt to the stress of the workout. So recovery can be improved in a variety of ways, such as effective nutrition and hydration, light aerobic exercise, and stretching sessions. So if we get these wrong, positive adaptations will not occur as quickly. So the example of this principle of recovery is we have swimming. Swimming is a low-impact exercise that is easy on your joints and muscles. So, one study trusted source found that among triathletes who followed a HIIT or HIIT session with recovery in the pool had a better exercise performance the next day. So, researchers think that the water may help reduce inflammation. So, that is all about. So next we have other example, which is the yoga. So practicing yoga can be beneficial for active recovery. So this helps stretch sore muscles and increase flexibility, and it can also reduce stress and inflammation. Sorry for that. So now let us proceed to the principle of reversibility. So principle of reversibility, it is another way of stating the principle. It is another way of stating the principle of disuse. So this is the principle. So principle of reversibility is also known as use it or lose it. So basically, if you stop training, then the improvements you have made will be reversed. So if you are ill or have a holiday and do not train for a period of time, even as little as a week, you may not be able to resume the training at the point where you left off. So nagid siya mga bagong mga mga manibag-o na ka. It is because wala na ka naka-train ato. Okay, so now let us proceed to the last principle, I guess. Wait. Which is the principle of trainability. So principle of trainability has been defined as to how responsive an individual is to the training stimulus and what extent of development was achieved in various levels of growing and developing. So these principles are the reason why practicing frequently and consistency are so important in improving overall performance. So applying these principles of training can give us the better understanding of the body and achieve a better and a healthy lifestyle. So that's the end of our report. So I hope that you guys really understand about my report. So thank you. Bye.
Good day everyone, good day sir. I am Venus DIQUIDIG and my topic for today is the isometric and isotonic exercise. So which is better, the isotonic exercise or the isometric exercise? So first, let's define what is exercise. Exercising is moving your body in order to improve your physical health. You can do this in various ways, and different kinds of exercise requires different types of muscle contraction. So what is muscle contraction? So muscle contraction is the tightening, shortening, or lengthening of muscle when you do some activities like picking up or lifting up or of something. And the two main ways of muscle contracts are isometrically or isotonically. In your pursuit of continuous growth, you should look into incorporate both types of exercise into your workout regimen. So you must choose what exercise is the best for you. So, isotonic exercise. Iso means equal or same, and tonic means muscle tone or tension. So, isotonic means same muscle tension or equal muscle tension. So, isotonic exercise requires a force to resist a weight in lifting or doing something. So there are two types of isotonic exercise: the isotonic concentric and the isotonic eccentric. Example of isotonic exercise is lifting a dumbbell. So the isotonic concentric muscle contraction is when you lift the dumbbell or kanang mangusog ka, nadiri ang muscle tension. And the isotonic eccentric is when you extend your arm or lower the dumbbell kanang imo nang ibutang wala na ka nang usog. So here are the some forms of isotonic exercise. The aerobic exercise like walking, running, hiking, swimming, skiing, and dancing are all considered isotonic exercise. So are resistance training exercise that involve movements such as squats, push-ups, pull-ups, bench presses, deadlifts, and bicep curls. So any movement that you use your strength is an example of isotonic exercise. Even everyday activities like house cleaning or gardening is considered as an isotonic exercise. So here are the some benefits of isotonic exercise. It helps our cardiovascular endurance as it increased our oxygen consumption, heart rate, stroke volume, and vascular endurance while reducing the risk of heart disease. It also improves our bone density, burns calories, and improves important health numbers. So now let's tackle the isometric exercise. So iso means same or equal, and metric means joint angle. So when we combine it, it is same joint angle. So isometric exercise involves remaining in a static position while engaging the muscles. The joint doesn't move and the muscles neither lengthens or shortens, but the muscle tendon is activated. It means that there are no movements involved, but still you use your strength to keep your balance, and that is an example of isometric exercise. So here are the some forms of isometric exercise. So stationary exercise such as wall sit, planks, and bridge. So as you can see at the picture, there are no movement involved, but still you keep your balance.
And all of that is an example of isometric exercise.
So these are the benefits of isometric exercise. Isometric exercise builds muscle strength and bone density while improving cholesterol levels and digestive function. And it is also lower our blood pressure. So in conclusion, any form of exercise will provide important health benefits. But the best kind of exercise is an activity that you enjoy and are able to do regularly. And the biggest benefits are enjoyed by those who incorporate a variety of activities. So for me, the best exercise is when you enjoy what you are doing. Kay, di ba? Bisan pag silang effective kay nga exercise kung wapog ka nalipaya to, wala na Japon, di na Japon siya the best. Ang the best jud ka lang ma-enjoy pud ka, dili kay exercise lang ka, kay wala na pud. Dapat ma-enjoy sab ka. Og mo na to, sir. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am MAYLYN Aguilar, and the topic that I will be reporting today is called isokinetic exercise. So, without further ado, let's get started. To begin, let's discuss first what is isokinetic exercise. The word isokinetic is divided into two words in which the iso means constant or same, and the kinetic means motion or speed, meaning the isokinetic exercise is a type of exercise in which the speed of the movement are constant. Isokinetic exercise also is a type of strength training in which the speed of the movement remains constant, but the resistance varies. People tend to use a specialized machine to perform this exercise.
meaning you cannot perform this type of exercise without the use of specialized machines. It is because the specialized machines are the one who controls and maintains the constant speed of the movement. And also, the resistance of this exercise varies even though the movement speed are constant. It is because you can adjust the speed and range of motion in the machine based on what suits your needs. So, as long as you exert more force, the resistance increases. Isokinetic exercise, also called accommodating resistance exercise. The isokinetic exercise is generally used in physical therapy settings, and its purposes includes rehabilitation, recovery, and muscle testing. In rehabilitation, isokinetic exercise is popular for rehabilitating muscles and joints, especially after injuries. So, in recovery, isokinetic exercise is useful from recovering injury as well as stroke, and it is also useful for testing muscle functions. Okay, now let's continue to the examples of isokinetic exercise. First, the lat pull down. This example of isokinetic exercise strengthens our shoulders, biceps, and back. In doing this, while seated, you pull down the horizontal bar down to your chest with a constant speed of movement. And the next example is the treadmill. It is the common isokinetic workout where you can walk and add resistance. You can do it at a constant speed or varying speed on your fitness level. And the other example is the stationary bike, in which it responds to a constant leg movements by the users. The isokinetic exercise machines or isokinetic dynamometers, it is typically found only in rehabilitation and healthcare facilities. It uses to measure musculoskeletal rehabilitation, in which it aims to restore optimal form of function after injury or recovery. And now, let's continue to the benefits of isokinetic exercise. Physical therapists and occupational therapists often use isokinetic exercise for rehabilitation and also for recovery. That's why they use isokinetic machines in order to help people recover from stroke, injury, as well as medical procedure. In other types of training, benefits may include resistance can be applied to the muscle throughout the entire range of motion. Muscle injuries are less likely to occur. And also, additionally, similar to other types of strength training, the isokinetic exercise can also increase trusted sources like muscle tone, strength, flexibility, balance, and also coordination. So, that's all. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I hope that you were able to learn something in today's discussion about isokinetic exercise.
Good day, everyone. I am Jasmine C. Sabanal, and I will be discussing about warm-up and its purpose. Okay, so what is warm-up? A warm-up is a short activity or exercise undertaken prior to a more intensive exercise or activity. It means it is an exercise where your body needs to take this kind of exercise for preparation before performing a vigorous activity. So when we do exercise, we should have first to do warm-up. It is very essential in exercising to warm the body by increasing the body temperature. Okay, so why should we warm up? A warm-up gets the blood pumping around our bodies to our joints and muscles. If our bodies are ready for exercising, we are less likely to injure or hurt ourselves. It also aids the body throughout the exercise session by preparing the muscles, joints, ligaments, and tendons for the strenuous part of the workout. Next, let's proceed to the purpose of warm-up. So what is the purpose of warm-up? The purpose of warming up before physical activity is to prepare mentally and physically for your choosing activity. So warming up before exercise allows your body to adjust gradually to the increased demand on your heart, muscles, breathing, and circulation. Warm-up also improves flexibility, and it also protects against injury and muscle soreness. It is very important because it helps us to get our bodies ready for the activity we are about to do. So that's all for the definition of warm-up and its purpose. And the important benefits of warm-up will be discussed by my partner, Miss JUVELYN Lumbuan. And I hope that you learn on my discussion. Thank you for listening and God bless.
So, good day everyone, especially to you, sir. So, this is the continuation of Report of Jasmine. So, before I proceed, I would like to introduce to you myself. First, so I am JUVELYN Lumbuan. I will be reporting the important benefits of a warm-up. So, in this activity, the flexibility is the way to warm up your body to prevent injuries and improve your performance so that it can benefits to your muscles and to our blood circulations to our body. So let's proceed to the general warm-up so that it is important for everyone to prevent causes to your body to prepare yourselves for more intense activities and exercises. Example here, jog for 1 minute, side shuffle left right foot, leading for 20 seconds, karaoke left right foot leading for 10 seconds, butt kicks for 10 seconds, high knees for 10 seconds, and it is to begin your warm-up of physical activity to gradually revs up your cardiovascular system by raising your body temperature and increasing blood pressure to your muscles. So that's for my part. I give the time for the next reporter. God bless you.
Hello everyone, I'm going to discuss some examples of kulta. Static stretches. What is static stretches? Static stretches are those in which you stand, sit, or lie still and hold a single position for a period of time. These are the examples of static stretches and its procedure. So I will only give the benefits of its stretches. First is basic neck stretch. Stretching your neck in the end of your workout routine helps to increase flexibility, improves range of motion, and reduces muscle soreness. Next is the shoulder stretches. Shoulder stretches can help relieve muscle tension, pain, and tightness in the neck and shoulder. Next is chest stretches. Stretching your chest activates the chest muscles, stimulates blood flow, and increases your range of motion and flexibility. Then, tricep stretches. Tricep stretches improves flexibility, lengthen muscles, and increase range of motion, plus they can help to prevent tight muscles, loosen connective tissues, and boost circulations. Next are the types of hamstring stretches. The basic hamstring stretches, single leg hamstring stretches, reverse hamstring stretches, and standing hamstring stretches. So hamstring stretches can increase flexibility and improve the range of motion in the hip. Both of these benefits help people perform daily tasks. Next is quadricep stretch and calf stretch. So these two stretches have the same benefits. So stretching your calves and quads activates the muscles, stimulates blood flow, and can increase your short-term range of motion and flexibility. Next is the side stretch and seated side stretch. The side stretch exercise stretches and strengthens the intercostal muscles. These are the muscles between the ribs, help support the ribs. Next is the back stretches. The lower back stretches, child pose stretches, yoga cat pose, and on the ball lower back stretches. So these stretches, while stretching your back, is important for back pain relief. Full body stretching can relieve tension you may be holding, which can cause other muscles to work harder to cooperate. Static stretches are very important to end a workout or exercise. And also don't forget to breathe in. So after workout, don't forget to breathe in through your nose and breathe out the air through your mouth. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Before I will start my report, I am STELA MIñOSA from BSED Math 1A, and I will be reporting the cool down exercise. So let's start. Cooling down or warming down. It is an easy exercise that will allow the body to gradually transition from an exertional state to a resting or near resting state. Because before we do the vigorous activities, we do the cooling down in order to rest our blood pressure and heart rate slowly. And if we stop directly, may mangyayari lightheadedness, or it can cause the body and the blood pressure or heart rate drop rapidly. So we do the cool down to make our body not suddenly burst and suddenly go down the heart rate and the blood pressure. So next, why cool down? So it can promote recovery and return the body to a pre-exercise or pre-workout level, and help with the post-exercise muscle soreness that is usually experienced the day after a tough workout. So we have this soreness after we do exercises, but in this cool down, it can make your body not totally soreness. It cannot give totally soreness, and can make your body stay physically healthy for the top workout. So it is also assess your body and its repair process, and helps all this by keeping the blood circulation and prevent blood pooling, and also removes waste products from the muscles. The waste products in here is the lactic acid that we have in our body, and because of this cool down, it can removes the waste products that has in our body. And next, what are the benefits of a cool down? So the aid is in the dissipation of waste product. It is including the lactic acid is removed. So as I said earlier, the waste in our body will be removed if we do cool down. And it is reduce the chances of dizziness or fainting caused by the pooling of venous blood at the extremities, and reduce the level of adrenaline in the blood, and allows the heart rate to return to its resting rate. So because we do the vigorous activities, our heart rate and blood pressure will be pumped rapidly, and because of this cool down, it can make your heart rate and blood pressure to return to its resting rate. So next, what are the parts of an effective cool down? So there are 3 parts of effective cool down. First is the gentle exercise, which is the jogging or walking. It can help first you can jogging, and then after that you can walk, and then slowly. So the next one is the stretching. It is the static stretching and
P and F stretching is usually best. Why? Because static stretching is usually it is consists of stand, sit, lie, and hold a single position for a period of time. And then the P and F stretching, it is the proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. It is to utilize to improve muscle elasticity in our body. So, and the last one is the refuel. Both fluid and food are important. Before we engage in these physical activities, we should know the limit of our food to take, and the important food like veggies, and to limit the food of carbohydrates in order to physically fit and healthy. So next one, how long to cool down? Cooling down should consist of the following. So 5 to 10 minutes jogging or walking. Then the second one is 5 to 10 minutes static stretching exercise. So in total of it can be 20 minutes in order to rest our blood pressure and the temperature in our body slowly. And cool down is very important, as same as the warm up, to give us the physically healthy and mentally healthy in our daily lives. And that's all. Thank you.